Hello, beautiful beings, and thank you for joining me today for this Gaia Goddess segment on the power of words. We as creator beings, what are creator beings? Beings that are always in the process of creating their reality. We manifest through our thoughts, words, and actions. But today, I'd like to talk to you about the power of words. I often hear and sometimes say, words are spells, positive ones or negative. And to be a conscious, self-aware being who creates in the world consciously, we also want to be aware of the words that we think and those that we use. Now, sometimes people have a hard time buying into the spiritual realm because they don't have scientific proof. And while science is a wonderful area of study, and we've made so much progress in the area of science, the limitation of science is you can't always prove a spirit. But for today's discussion, I actually have scientific proof of the power of words, and I'd love to share with you some of the studies of Dr. Emoto. Masaru Emoto studied the consciousness in water. He wrote a few books, Hidden Messages in Water, and then the cover of his second book, Love Thyself. What he did to prove that water has consciousness, and remember, our bodies are made mostly of water, so our bodies have consciousness too. He studied water as it was forming a snowflake. In some instances, he put bottles of water with the words, something like faith, on the bottle. Some instances, he took bottles of water from polluted lakes in Japan, studied the crystals that formed as snowflakes before prayer, and then after a group of people formed around the lake holding hands and praying over the water, and then he took a photo of the crystal that was formed. So I'm going to share with you some of the words he tested. In just a second, I also have these beautiful plants behind me, and they also are made up of water. Many people play music for their plants. They talk to their plants. And to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't take care of plants for most of my life. It's just recent that I have indoor houseplants. And I ask them their names. I greet them when I come home. I don't talk to them much because I don't have a lot of time, but when I water them, I tell them that I love them. And I just compliment them on how beautiful they are. And they seem to flourish. I also notice that they seem to extend out to each other in community, to touch each other when I have them grouped in a special area of my house. So back to Dr. Emoto. In the first picture I'm going to share with you, Dr. Emoto put water in a bottle, and he put the word hope on the bottle of water. He let that water remain in the bottle over a period of weeks. And then he took a photograph as the crystal was forming, as a snowflake formed. And if you notice, there's beautiful geometrics of the word hope and a beautiful star in the middle. It's symmetrical, and it's quite lovely. He also tested in a bottle of water the word truth. This is the snowflake that was formed. Again, such a symmetrical, balanced snowflake. Lovely and beautiful to look at. This is an interesting one. He played the song Imagine by the Beatles as the water was forming in a snowflake. And this is the snowflake that formed. Happiness was written on a bottle of water, and this picture was taken as it formed a snowflake. Again, you can see it's just interesting, unique, and symmetrical. Beautiful to look at. This is an interesting one. This was also put on a bottle of water, and this is family love. If you look at it, it looks like it has a duplicate, or it's sort of like holographic, that there's 3 versions of it, almost like it extends out. And one last, more on the positive side of the words, honesty. This also was put on a bottle of water. Now, Dr. Emoto used music, and noticed that some forms of music, such as acid rock, the snowflakes did not form well. They were not balanced, they were distorted. But the water that was exposed to classical music also looked very much like love and happiness, truth, balanced and beautiful. This is one last picture of love for humanity that was also put on a bottle of water. We need a bit more of this love for humanity. You could even just put your hands on your heart and say love for humanity and see how that feels in your body. Dr. Emoto also used the word blasphemy. It was put on a bottle, and if you look at this picture, it looks very chaotic. It's distorted. It's malformed. Not at all something that's pleasing to the eye. This is a picture of despair. Again, it doesn't have the same look as the love or hope or truth. And one last, because I don't like to dwell on the negative, one last negative word, the word war. Again, just malformed completely. There's no beauty in it to behold. And it doesn't even feel good to look at. But it's an example of what that word, the effect that that word has on water. So imagine the effect of words on your body. Imagine how your body vibrates and feels when you feed it with negativity, whether that's negative self-talk, I don't like the way I look, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough. Even saying those things right now to you, I feel sad. I almost feel tears forming in my eyes because it hurts to say those things to myself. I've worked so hard on clearing negativity and embracing love and self-love and self-worth that when I say something negative to myself, I actually feel like I could cry. But we can also try saying positive things, affirmations, words of gratitude for ourselves. Something like, I am always working towards bettering myself, growth, spiritual development, peace, happiness. I am learning to love myself. I am beautiful. I am love. Try speaking to yourself with loving, kind words. Support yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And choose your words consciously. It just takes a moment to stop mid-sentence. If you're saying something negative, or something like, if my business succeeds, cancel. When my business succeeds. So you want to stop yourself and use really positive, affirming language about the things that you're creating in the world, about others. Really, as much positivity as you can invite into your life. You really want to do that because as you see with these photos, it raises the vibration and the consciousness in your body, and you become lighter and brighter, and you get to embody more love. Thank you so much for listening today. I look forward to exploring this deeper with you in the future, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.